Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. Huawei recently raised its Mate60 Pro shipments to 20 million units, which is a strong challenge to Apple. After Huawei broke through multiple blockades and launched powerful Kirin chips and Hongmeng systems, its mobile phone market share quickly rebounded, putting tremendous pressure on Apple. Faced with Huawei's counterattack, Apple's market value evaporated again, and the White House even considered this to be retaliation against Apple. This series of events has attracted global attention and also left consumers with a multiple-choice question: Huawei or Apple? The hot sales of Huawei Mate60 Pro triggered a frantic rush. Huawei launched its new Mate60 Pro mobile phone at the end of August, equipped with a domestic 7nm Kirin chip, which shocked the world with Chinese technology. In the shadow of the new iPhone 15 just released by Apple, this Huawei mobile phone once became the focus of consumers. Huawei also plans to increase Mate60 Pro shipments to 20 million units in the near future to further challenge Apple's market position. This news triggered heated discussions about the competition between Huawei and Apple, leaving consumers with an important choice: should they support Huawei or continue to choose Apple? Extension: the hot sales of Huawei Mate60 Pro not only reflects the strength of China's technology, but also demonstrates the competitiveness of Chinese mobile phone brands in the global market. The increase in Huawei's shipments to 20 million units means that its share of the mobile phone market will further increase. This will directly affect Apple's market position and put it under greater pressure. With the return of Huawei mobile phones and the continuous improvement of technology, consumers' recognition of the Huawei brand is also increasing. The hot sales of Huawei Mate60 Pro is not only a challenge to Apple, but also an important milestone for Chinese mobile phone brands to go global. Apple's failure and Huawei's return. After Huawei and China as a whole experienced years of sanctions and difficulties, Apple took the opportunity to seize China's high-end mobile phone market. However, Huawei's counterattack has put Apple under tremendous pressure. The Biden team has repeatedly signed sanctions in an attempt to restrict Huawei's development, but Huawei has overcome many difficulties with its own technical strength and innovation capabilities. The Kirin 9000S chip launched by Huawei has excellent performance and has been recognized by many domestic and foreign institutions, which has injected new impetus into Huawei's revival in the high-end mobile phone market. Therefore, the hot sales of Huawei Mate60 Pro is not just a market competition, but also reflects Huawei's strong return and Apple's failure in the Chinese market. Extension: the evaporation of Apple's market value is closely related to the return of Huawei mobile phones. Apple's stock price has been falling for several days, and it is facing tremendous pressure. On the contrary, Huawei's mobile phone market share is gradually recovering and it continues to improve in terms of technology and quality. The launch and hot sales of Huawei Mate60 Pro have had a direct impact on Apple's market position, which has also made the decline of Apple's stock price inevitable. Huawei's strong comeback and Apple's evaporation of market value indicate that Chinese mobile phone brands are challenging the world market, and the competition between Huawei and Apple will become increasingly fierce. Anger and baseless accusations from the White House. A White House spokesperson recently stated that Huawei's return is retaliation for Apple. However, this argument is completely untenable. Huawei has achieved great success driven by the improvement of its own technical capabilities and market competition. At the same time, the United States' own sanctions and restrictions on Huawei are also a response to the rise of China's technology. Huawei's move to fight back against Apple is entirely out of the need for market competition, and the White House's accusations are completely untenable. In fact, Huawei's success is the result of China's technological development and is not revenge on Apple. The increase in Huawei's shipments and the decline in Apple's market value are only the result of market competition and have nothing to do with retaliation. The White House's accusations against Huawei just unfounded remarks in an attempt to shift the responsibility to China. In fact, China has always adhered to fair trade principles and has not taken any brutal measures to suppress Apple. Huawei's strong return is a reflection of China's technological strength and the result of market competition. If Apple wants to change the current unfavorable situation, it should work hard to improve its own products and technology instead of blaming China. The White House's accusations against Huawei will only expose the weakness of its own scientific research capabilities. Huawei's success is the result of Huawei's own efforts and has nothing to do with revenge. The hot sales of Huawei's recently launched Mate60 Pro mobile phone has triggered a rush of consumers, which is a strong challenge to Apple. Huawei plans to increase shipments to 20 million units, further increasing competitive pressure on Apple. Apple's market woes and stock price decline are partly attributable to Huawei's strong comeback. However, the White House mistakenly regards Huawei's return as retaliation against Apple. This accusation is untenable. Huawei's success is the result of China's technological development. Huawei's return and Apple's decline in market value are the result of market competition and have nothing to do with revenge. For consumers, faced with the choice between Huawei and Apple, decisions should be made based on personal needs and preferences. No matter which brand you choose, you should focus on the quality and performance of the product instead of being distracted by unfounded accusations.